Right, next, this is the other one that arrived. As I said before, it's dead, not doing anything. This one's quite complicated. We've got screws at the front here, we've got screws in the handle. Let's try our newly repaired one and see how we get on with that. So we go like that, and we flip it to the left, and it undoes. Whoa! Turn it to the left, and it undoes. Turn it to the left, and it undoes. Whoa! Look, I'm getting quite used to this. That one's not doing anything. Why are you not going in? And then I'm guessing that we're going to want these out as well at some point, so we might as well do it now. 1, 2. I think I could get to quite like this. 3. Right, out of the way. That'll do. Let's put right 1, 2, 3. So we've got 3 of those on the front. I'll leave that there for now. Then we've got, what are these? Oh, these are a different size. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 in there. 5. There. That looks like the same silly Black & Decker proprietary charge thing, which I still don't understand why they would do that. And it's jammed. I wonder if it's got that pin in it like the other one had. The other one had a roll pin in it. That's 3 there. That's 3 there. So why are you stuck? And where are you stuck? Oh no, it's coming. Oh! Oh right, so that bit can all fall out all on its own, so that's okay then. So that bit's out. I've lost track of which way round it was already. Oh, there was that way round, wasn't it? Because the light's at the bottom. Are we still? Oh, there we go. No, it's got the old switch direction thing all built into it. Oh, this one's very, very simple. That looks like it's got a horrible, cheap and nasty charge board on it with a row of diodes, a transistor. Yes, that's not even a nice charge board on there. And the switch is just 2 prongs touching onto there. Right, let's see. Probably want to test the battery first before we do anything, so let's that one off. And that one off. And actually we might as well lift all this out of the way, won't we, because I shall need to lose this down the sink so that my wife can shout at me again. God dear, that's jammed in tight. Right, then that can all lift out. Strange that those, I guess that orange is this orange, it's not rust. Right, so they can all go off and be scrubbed. Perhaps I'll spare you that this time and then you won't see me crying when bits of it fall down the sink. Right, there we go. Let's see what the battery says. It's nice of them, isn't it? Look, minus, plus. No, completely dead, just like the last one. Right, so we'll put that one on charge. Right, so that's plus end, that's minus end. They even marked it for us, they're so kind. That'll go in there, so that should turn red. And it does. And we'll leave that on charge. Right, power bank. Plug that in. Let's find the business end. they've marked plus for us. Not that it really matters that much, but it might help with the direction with the most power. Let's see what we get. I'll do it all in one. I'm leaving it connected to the gears this time. Well, it sounds quite healthy. It's a little bit slow, but that doesn't matter because it depends on the gearing. Oh, I can almost stop it. Perhaps this is getting a bit flat. Let's try sending it the other way. Right, that's going the other way. I don't know if you can see, but it is. Yeah, it's... So clearly there's nothing wrong with the gears. So that's all okay. Right, I've noticed a couple of things about this that are a little bit odd. The contacts are filthy. So where that goes on to do the switching, the switch side, lovely and clean, so those two contacts there for the switch, there's the little spring that I can lose down the sink. They're very tarnished, so they'll need cleaning, but more interestingly is this, for the charge, is broken off. It's not connected at all. There's nothing there, there's not even anything for it to connect to. It must have had like a pin in there. So this has only got one pin instead of two, whereas this one, which is exactly the same, has got two pins. So obviously at some point somebody pulled the charger out, tore the pin out with it. So that's interesting because that was never going to work. So it looks like they're silver plated. I suppose it could be nickel, but it's very shiny, whatever it is. Just tarnished. And there you go, good as new. So that's all nice and clean, that's all okay. So that literally just presses on there. I mean, it's as simple as that. It's the same design that Bosch used on some of theirs because it's cheap and it works. Right, so all those parts want cleaning, so we need to get this off. Oh, that's that off. That's that off. And turn that a bit off. Right, we just need to trim that back a little bit so we've got something to solder to. Don't think we need very much. That little bit there will do. I think that will probably do. Alright, there's the negative side. So we can solder that onto there. This is going to be the new connector, just a standard bayonet connector. I think that's gone okay, but we'll find out in a minute, won't we? Well, not in a minute, but when we go, you'll find out in a minute. I won't, because I've still got to do some cleaning and tidying. Case halves, switch, all cleaned and scrubbed, so they're all good to go, so we'll just put those out of the way. Battery, charged it up yesterday, so let's see if it's still holding a charge, because if it is, then we've got a battery. Oh, look at that, 4.11, and I think it was on 4.15 when it stopped charging. So yep, looks like the battery is good to go. So that's that. Now that brings us to this. Now this, I don't understand. Clearly this is the switch, and it seems to be the charging board. There's the contacts for the switch, but as a charging board it doesn't make sense. I put this other plug on, but there's no need now, because when I look at this I think, well, 1, 2, 3, 4 diodes, you'd think that was a bridge rectifier for an AC supply. which makes no sense. I mean, that would mean that it plugs into an AC adapter to charge it up. Then I've got two more there, and I don't know what they're for, so it's two more diodes I think, and there's a lone diode up there, and I wonder if that's the one that's to stop it draining back if you leave it plugged into the charger so that the battery doesn't go flat. There's a few components on the back here, but well, I'm not really sure what most of them are, but looking at them, it doesn't look as if it's a lot to do with charge control. It really doesn't, unless all these components together become some kind of charge control. I suppose they could be, because that looks like it might be a diode. I'm wondering if that's a little LED next to it. I'm not sure. And then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, not sure what's under there, but I think these are transistors, so it's just possible, I think, that it's some kind of charge control. But I had a look on the internet. The information on the internet said the charger was 9 volts and takes 12 hours to charge the battery, which is clearly ridiculous, because if we use one of these little charge boards, you can charge one of these batteries up in somewhere around a couple of hours. If it's not too flat, maybe quicker, and if it's very flat, maybe a couple of hours or a little bit longer. And it was actually one of these that I charged this up with. So it would make more sense to substitute this and somehow have this connected to there. Now this one is USB-C. But USB-C would be no good to me, because this has got to somehow fit there where the plug was, because you can see this is where the plug sits, like that, and the circuit board goes from there to there. Now I haven't really got room to fit this in its place, because if the plug was to sit and poke through there, this would sit slightly to the back side of that circuit board, and the space here is only just wide enough for the battery, so you just can't fit this in here into this space. And I can't fit it in that way because it would be too long and would be hanging out the bottom, and I can't move this board in any easy way. I could possibly cut the bottom of the board off, but then it wouldn't be supported, and then when you think that this part, the switch, sits there, you see there's the switch, there's the circuit board. If you had this bit cut short, you would be pressing against this, which would be pressing against the circuit board, but it wouldn't be fixed to anything at this end. So again, it really doesn't work, because that has got to sit literally there, but be pressed down. So the only thing I can think of that might work is I remove these wires and take that plug off completely. Then I get one of these and I remove all of these diodes, and hopefully the rest of the circuit still works, and then that would give me somewhere to sit the board. It particularly would if I can get rid of that transistor as well. I'm not sure what that transistor's doing, but you can see that that would fit there lovely if I could get rid of that transistor and all of these diodes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove these and see how much of the board will still work, because it should be possible if we put this on here and we put a negative on there. Now when we bridge those, obviously with the switch, but I mean I'll just bridge them with something else for now. let's keep an eye on the LED. Now presumably that's sending power to the motor as well as the LED. So it should be possible to remove a diode and test to see if that affects anything. Remove a diode, test to see. Remove a diode, test to see. And see how much of this I can remove and still have the switch and motor function working. And if I can remove all of the diodes, which I suspect I can, that will be great. And if I can remove all the diodes and that transistor, that would be even better. Right, with all those removed, the light is still working, but of course what we don't know is the motor working, so we need to test that. Right, let's have a look what we've got now. So everything still works. Right, charge control board. I'm going to try and break the legs off of the connector. Right, so that is going to become battery plus out. There should be a hole in there somewhere. Come on, where are you? Oh, that's it. Sorry, battery minus out. And then this one will become battery plus out. Come on, why are you not going through the hole? That's it. That just goes underneath there. I still don't like it, but it'll have to do. Because that's how stupid I've done it. I don't think they touch, well not at present. Maybe I can poke something in between them. Right, so that's there. Alright, so that's going to go in there. That looks like we've got room for that. That all sits in there okay. That looks like that's going to sit in there, so it's just this end we need to sort out. Right, we should. I've cut this plus lead short, so we should be able to just solder it onto that plus spot that already exists, which is actually the other side of the battery terminal anyway, so that's directly onto the battery terminal. The minus one is up under there, but I think we can still get to it, so there it is. So I can't see any reason why we can't go down there, miss the switch, and in there. Right, so it should be alright just to put some solder there and solders to that to there, and we should be in business. Except the solder's not going on, of course. Oh, there we go. Oh, it's bridged those two together. I don't think that actually matters because they're both minus. Yep, they are. No, it didn't matter. Right, usual bit of wood. Same screws as usual. Oh, I don't think you can complain about that. Oh, so you can split the wood. and it's tried to go into my bench, just about come through the other side. Back the other way. So there's the end of my charger, standard 5-volt charger. It's a bit, I think it reaches okay, just. If I turn it on, we're not going to see anything. Maybe I have to look at the possibility of making a little hole somewhere, perhaps here or there. All finished.